Virgo, this is your week ahead astrology forecast by Astrology Motivation. We do this every single week, Virgo, so remember to subscribe to this channel. We'll review the major planetary aspects and transits and how they affect your natal sun and what that means for your bottom line. We're going to start out really broad with those things that everybody should be aware of, and then I will focus in on the Virgo specific information, and then I will tell you how your natal sun is actually going to be impacted, because not all Virgos are going to be impacted the same way, because the impact is based on angles, and not all Virgos are in the same place in the zodiac sign of Virgo. So that makes the angles significantly different. So we'll get into those specifics in the end of the reading. For right now, let's start out really broad, really big. For this reading, you don't need to know anything but your birthday. You'll enjoy it and you'll be able to understand it just knowing your birth date. Now, if you want the most accuracy, grab your natal chart. If you don't have one, then you can absolutely, hopefully after this video, go and run yourself a natal chart. It's free, it's online. Just search free natal chart, free birth chart. You'll need your birth date, which you already have, your birth time, and your birth location. And in seconds, they'll spit you out a birth chart, and then you can start your dive into deep astrology. For right now, just all you need is your birth date. You ready? Big stuff, and this is from the week of June 30th through July 6th, 2023. The big stuff. You have a Neptune going into retrograde. Neptune going into retrograde on the 1st. Neptune retrograde is half of Pluto's retrograde, Saturn retrograde. It's kind of like in the northern hemisphere, our summertime. It's that laid back time of year, except that Neptune in retrograde is that one thing that's kind of off. It's not actually more laid back. Well, it's more laid back. Like, it's more internal. Say it kind of, its job, its energy slows down for us here on Earth. But because of that, it affects us the opposite. It actually makes us less laid back. And that's why when Neptune goes into retrograde, we can be more dependent upon vices or things that help us escape, because we don't have that normal buffer. Sort of realities and truths really slip through blatantly, and even from the other side. So there can be some energy that comes across there too. I think that mostly it gets really bad when it's acted upon in really difficult aspects, which isn't happening now. It's actually in a beautiful aspect. It's in a sextile to Pluto, and it's phenomenally spiritual and psychic and intuitive and primal, but in the best ways. So we actually have something nice going for us with this retrograde. On the 3rd, July 3rd, we have a full moon in Capricorn, which means the sun, of course, is in Cancer. The sun is conjunct Mercury all throughout this week and definitely during the full moon, and that directly impacts you, so hang on to that. Hang on to it. While the full moon is happening on the 3rd, the moon is going to be trine to Taurus and to Uranus, which is like, I am tired of doing things the old way. It's going to be trine to Jupiter and Uranus, both in Taurus, and the sun is trine to Saturn. So this is, the sun is trine to Saturn and Jupiter is sextile to Saturn. So this is exceptionally productive energy where, because Uranus is involved, we want to change things. And anything that has been blocking that change, that has been hidden, this full moon is about to illuminate it. All week long, Venus is conjunct to Mars. That is sex. It is sexy. It is sexual. It is desire and lust and even romance, because it's all happening in Leo, but it's really heating up in Leo. This Venus conjunction to Mars is still trine to Chiron and square to Uranus. And what does that mean? It means that when it comes to our sexuality, sensuality, and our romantic life, we are not making the same mistakes again. We have learned the hard way, and we are rebelling against our norm. Isn't that beautiful? There's almost like healing in that. And then we have all week long Jupiter sextile to Saturn and sextile to the Sun, which is productivity on crack. This is, you can get anything done, and new opportunities and new solutions are coming your way. Now, or our way. On the 4th, on July 4th, so happy Independence Day to all my viewers from the United States. Hope you're celebrating with like the best ever barbecue, which Texas does best. Hello. We have a conjunction between the moon and Pluto, which is right after the moon is full on the 3rd. It will conjunct Pluto at the end of Capricorn at 29 degrees Capricorn. This happens about midday Central Time. So this is a really this is very emotional energy. It's very psychic energy. It's very intuitive, and what's hidden deep down, those stirrings can come up at this time. This is really quite incredible energy for right after a full moon, for the moon to then conjunct Pluto. So that's a day to pay attention to too. It could be extra emotional. Virgo, let's get into Virgo specific information. So I always look for what's going on in the zodiac sign of Virgo itself first. Absolutely nothing, or not absolutely nothing, but none of the major planets or luminaries are in Virgo right now. Mercury, what is the ruling dignitary? Mercury is your ruling dignitary. What is happening to Mercury? Well, Mercury is extremely active this week. It is moving between 8 and 20 degrees Cancer, because, whoa, Mercury moves fast. And it is in opposition to this full moon. Fantastic energy. All week long, it is conjunct the Sun. It is trine to Saturn, and it is square to Chiron. Square to Chiron means we do have a lot to learn, and we're being challenged. And it's like, hello, challenging all those past hurts, or trying to do something with the stress or trauma or injuries or mistakes that we have made that we should have learned from, and making sure like this information could challenge it, or information could be coming from all the challenges we've suffered in the past. And then trine Saturn is, we'll know exactly how to deal with them, how to talk about them. There could even be legal conversations addressing all of this. And then conjunct the Sun, it will be very public, all of this information. So let's get into how it impacts you. So Virgo, if you know that your natal sun is between 0 and 9 degrees Virgo, it falls in the first decan of Virgo, and you are Virgo ones. In terms of birthdays, this correlates to August Virgos. So those of you on the Leo cusp, definitely Leo cusp, say August 22nd, maybe August 21st, August 22nd through August 31st. That would be Virgo ones. Virgo ones, especially if you're on the cusp, you are conjunct to Mars all week long. A Sun conjunct Mars is, you're just going to feel hotter. You're going to feel like you have more energy, maybe even want to fight or be willing to do battle and not back down as much. It's really exceptional energy for motivation and progress and being more physical. All week long, your natal suns are in direct opposition to Saturn. Yes. So what does that mean? It means that you're grinding up against laws, legalities, restrictions, also any kind of contracts that you've signed. It doesn't mean it's going bad. It means it's in your face, and you won't be able to get around them this week. You'll have to address a lot of it, and it'll probably be very frustrating. You also have a sextile to the south node and trine to the north node, which means progress is coming from your talents and skills and stuff that comes easy to you, but you're looking to see how you can apply that and how it can help you transform and develop toward your north node or towards your future. So there's a lot of future focused here, or how you can apply where you've been and where you come from to where you're going. That's long term. So that will be at least for the next year. And then we have a trine to Jupiter, especially if you're born around the 30th and 31st. This is going to be huge for you, this trine to Jupiter, but really all of you are. What does that mean? Expansion, growth, progress, and luck. So definitely this can be a lot of harmonious stuff happening with regards to that Jupiterian energy helping you out. Jupiter is in Taurus, so it could have to do with value systems, what you value, or your finances specifically. But whatever it is, things are starting to harmonize. Virgo 2s, let's move on. If you are born between, if you know your natal sun is between 10 and 19 degrees Virgo, you are Virgo 2s. This correlates to, say, the first 10 days in September. You have September 1st through the 10th. So this is Virgo 2s. You guys are trine to the full moon. Full moon trine is like, thank God, because things will start making more sense for you now that all this stuff is starting to unravel and come to the surface. And it's also a very powerful time for you to purge and make space to manifest. So please, please, please use this energy. You also have a sextile to the Sun conjunct Mercury all week long, which means your mind is sharp. Mercury is your ruling dignitary. You know exactly who you are, what to say, and communications are wicked awesome for you this week. So this is a great week for you to sign important paperwork. It's a great week for you to write proposals. It's a great week for you to audition if you do that. It's a great week for you to apply for jobs or go into interviews. It's a great week for you to get presentation or use your it's just a great, use your creativity, creative writing with the Sun, which is creativity, and then Mercury, which is intelligence, creative intelligence coming together, and really you being able in a spot where you can take advantage of it this week. That's fantastic energy for you. If you are born around the 1st or 2nd of September, your natal suns are trine to Jupiter as well, just like in the first decan. If you are born more toward the 9th, 10th of September, your natal suns are trine to Uranus. Either way, there's expansion and growth here. With Jupiter, it's more about learning and understanding and being curious about other cultures, maybe foreign travel or just getting to know new people and just being more open and lucky. And then the trine to Uranus is more about the odd stuff, finding the oddball stuff, being ingenuitive, finding a harmony when it comes to ingenuity, when it comes to understanding who you are and being proud to be different, or the ways that you're different, or thinking outside of the box to find solutions to things. All of those things. Both of them, though, are progress. Both of them, though, are helpful energies. And you can expect wonderful things, especially with that sextile to the Sun conjunct Mercury all week long. Let's go on to the third decans, Virgo 3s. Your natal suns lie somewhere between the 20th and the 29th of Virgo. 20 and 29 degrees. I'm sorry, I should say that because I messed up. It lies between 20 and 29 degrees Virgo. How this correlates into birth dates are sort of the 11th, which is the day, 11th through the 21st of Virgo. So that would be you guys. Definitely Libra cusps, 100%. You are in a long-term opposition to Neptune. This has been going on for quite some time. The only reason why you would feel it differently is because this week Neptune is going into retrograde. So you can feel a little bit more of that pull and that distraction on you. So just prepare for that by having an outlet for your creativity or for your wandering mind so that you can have an outlet and help to bring it back to focus, and also have some strategies in place for not believing everything you hear, especially if it sounds too good to be true. This is something that can happen during an opposition between your Sun and Neptune, but because Neptune has activated because of that retrograde this week, I would say definitely just watch for the switches or changes. There can even be more psychic energy turned on to clue you into something else going on. And I would try to not let that distract you, but definitely write it down. You have a long-term trine to Uranus, which is wonderful energy. This energy of finding your own spirit and your own vibe and finding your own uniqueness and being interested and intrigued in things that are more unique and finding kind of the harmony with those aspects of who you are and who other people are that are a little bit different. They would definitely please you or be more interesting to you this week, and or just these couple of years, as well as becoming more ingenuitive and maybe even for some of you working more in technology and advanced technology. I said this, I wrote this down, stimulating frustration with Venus. What does that mean? Oh, I wrote it under the trine to Uranus. So there is this sense, hold on, because there's a quincunx to Chiron this week. If your natal sun, if your birthday is around the 11th or 12th, there's a quincunx to Chiron with a trine to Uranus. So frustration leading to change. So you can expect that. That's long term as well, though. So you have the trine to Uranus and the quincunx to Chiron, with this kind of stimulus coming because Uranus this week is square to Venus conjunct Mars, and Chiron this week is trine to Venus conjunct Mars. So there's extra stimulation there. So these long-term transits can sort of color your whole couple of years. So day to day you won't feel it, but this week you will feel it more intensely. And what I'm saying to myself here is it's going to come out as stimulating frustration, that kind of frustration that leads to make you want change because you don't want things the way they have been, especially maybe with regards to your sex life. Just an FYI. You guys let me know in the comments below, and please remember to like this video. Then come on over to Born Without Boundaries Tarot for your week ahead tarot card reading. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in the videos. Bye.